Hello, beautiful ones. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome those who are familiar with my channel, as well as those who are new. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad you are here. And please say hi in the chat. If not, say hello in the comments if you are watching on the replay. So I need to be at a certain distance to the camera. Like, I don't want to be too close, but not too far away either. So let me just close some tabs really quick. So today I'll just be, I'm going to share with you from the heart, not totally planned. Hold on, you close all of this other junk so I can concentrate on you guys. Hello, hello, hello. And I can put your comment up on the screen. So I'm going to talk about what is soulful mindfulness, what I'm calling soulful mindfulness. And at this point, as I always say, I'm a creative. Things can change, they flow. So, yes, at this point. And so, yes, say hi. Where are you from at this point? How are you today? If you're a regular in my lives, maybe just share how you're doing today. So, I wanted to share also some common questions because I really want to give value to you because our time really is precious. And so I want to give as much value as I can. And I also really want to encourage you. This video, I will be talking about my program, which is Soulful Mindfulness, because I realized I had not made a dedicated video basically talking about what it is. Okay, so I'll share that with you. I think this is more for folks who have done some meditation, as opposed to brand new folks, but you can decide for yourself. I'm going to answer some of what the top questions are people ask about meditation. I wrote a couple down, and this will probably be an ongoing series. Okay, so let me fluff my hair. All right, and one, because I'm dyslexic, yeah, I get like, which side of my head am I? Okay, there we go. So meditation. Let me just give a quick background. Again, new folks are always joining the channel. So I have been meditating since 1994. That is a really long time. Yes, the last century. A long, long time. I have been practicing meditation, and I'm actually currently in a program that's, I'm learning some very new things actually from another tradition, but that I hope can be helpful to incorporate in my teaching. So I'm currently in a program that's a year-long program. But the most intensive meditation that I've done, just so you have background, like, why should I listen to this woman? Because there's a lot of junk on YouTube, you guys. There really is a lot of just like fluff, because fluff sells, okay? And some of you have told me you appreciate that I say that and I share coming from that place of what you have to understand is that on YouTube, something might be super popular, but either not true, like wrong. It just might be wrong or kind of a half truth, okay? Because people make YouTube videos for a variety of reasons, okay? So, yes, hi. Hey, Dovefly. So keep that always in mind when you're watching a video. Sometimes a hugely popular video might be good for a reason that is actually, how can I explain it? Say a video gives a certain opinion, but it's a sexy opinion, it's a popular opinion, it still may not be true. So when you watch videos about anything, but specifically about meditation, just keep that always in mind. There's a lot of quality variety, levels of quality on YouTube. So again, I'm going to talk about what soulful mindfulness is, which is what I teach. It's my mindfulness program that I designed. As I just shared, I've been meditating since about 1991 in college. I started practicing with Zen monks from Japan. Okay. And then had such a positive effect, even like the first time, that I just was like, this is amazing. The example that I share for those of you who are new on why, like, I immediately fell in love with meditation was I'm actually not liking how the light's hitting my glasses, guys. That's what I was just noticing. Yeah, okay, it's okay. Just like this big dot there, big dot. Um, so I first sat for meditation with these monks in a beautiful, it was designed to look like a traditional sort of Japanese garden. If any of you seen, like in Kyoto in Japan, just very simple, like those tatami mats, very clean, very simple, very spare. Anyway, we meditated, I want to say for like 20 minutes, maybe half hour. I was a college student, but I was a mature college student already. And literally, I walked out into the garden. There's a garden around this little meditation hall, you guys, and the leaves were, and I had walked in, obviously, I got in there. But in walking out after meditating for just that short time, for like the first time, the leaves, the color was more intense. I felt like I saw things that I didn't notice going in. Walking in, I just walked in. I think I went with a friend. We were talking. Walking out, it's like my eyes had been like cleansed of like a fog, and everything was sharp and the color was more intense. And being an artist, it really struck me. And I was like, whoa. It felt like almost like I had had a drug that altered my perception. Yeah. And so I immediately was like, this is really interesting, because all I had done was sat down, the monk said a few words, guided us just lightly, and I walked down and I felt this difference. So that really began my meditation journey. Now, in some videos, I also talk about when I was like 13 and my mom caught me meditating, Okay. And this is my message to you. I was just watching some, let's see, I think I was watching a yoga program. And so in the yoga program, they meditated and I was just trying it. I didn't know what I was doing, but that's the very first time when I was like 12 or 13. And yeah, but I was able to like cross my legs, like totally like this. And that's when my mom's like, what is wrong with you? So that was the very first experience. Okay. If you've heard me share that. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're in the house today, and you're gonna probably the replay folks as well. So like I said, I don't want to waste your time. I want to chat a little bit, but I want to go over some common meditation questions. I looked some up, and some that I know from students in the past, right? So I will answer those, but I'm really putting this out to you because my Soulful Mindfulness is closing. I think I'm going to close it tomorrow because we start on Sunday. And I just really wanted to take a dedicated video and talk to you about my program. All right. So does meditation work? That's one of the first questions people ask. And then they ask, does it help with, and then various things. Does it help with anxiety, which I covered in a previous video. That was kind of free form. I just talked about my experience. But most people want to know, does meditation work? Does it help with anxiety? Does it help with stress? Does it help with sleep? And anger was the fourth thing. So anxiety, stress, sleep, and anger. Okay. So let me just tackle those in general. It definitely works for anxiety. I am an anxious person. I am not saying it cures anxiety, but it has, I would say, as powerful an impact, if not more, than your anxiety drugs. Okay. As powerful an impact as medication. All right, with practice. And the thing that I always say to you, goddesses, especially the women watching, especially Black women, Black, brown women, especially, what you have to understand is, and I think we get this more than others, versus being on a medication your whole life. Of course, some people need to be on medication their whole lives. That's okay, if you really need to be. But wouldn't you rather have the power and the control over your anxiety, your stress, your sleep, anger, and all the other issues, to not need a pill to subdue it? Okay. So it definitely helps with anxiety. I've seen that myself. I've seen that with other people, and the science, the studies are there. Definitely helps bring down anxiety. Okay. It helps with mood regulation, with response to stress, so that, as I was saying in a previous video, stress will still happen in your life. Absolutely. But you're going to be, instead of going up and down like this, you'll start to kind of even out. Okay. Again, there's science to this. So the answer is yes. I will put some links below the video. So yes, meditation does help with anxiety, does help with stress. And again, their studies are talking about cortisol levels, which are very high, very, very high, especially in the Black community. That's why we have more high blood pressure. Okay. And of course, and there are reasons for that, but that higher stress causes us to have medical issues. Okay. Very, very important. So you may not have a medical issue now. I understand that, but I'm speaking especially to women and men, because the program is now open to men as well, non-binary folks. I'm talking to women who are wanting to do self-care, are, I'm not here to like convince you if you're definitely not going to do meditation or if you're kind of in a helpless phase, is what I'm going to say. I think some of us can get so beaten down. And by us, I'm going to say women, all women now get so beaten down, and so this video then isn't really for you if you feel like you're in that phase, right? Where you're not able to take a step to help yourself, because taking a meditation program like the one that I am leading and that I'm talking to you from is for women who want their life to be better and are willing to take the step. Okay. And I know I have literally 28,000 subscribers. Now, some of them were very early, and everybody knows you cycle out of different channels, but of 28,000 of you, more of you need this program, the Soulful Mindfulness. So meditation has been scientifically proven to help with anxiety. And I've seen it myself as an anxious person. Okay. I am definitely an anxious person. In fact, without going into details, because I don't want to kind of out the person who, you never know, people might watch, but something happened yesterday. I got very, very anxious. And you know what I did? And this is part of what I do teach in my program. I did an acupressure point on myself, and I will actually show you. I did a point on my middle finger. At the end of the middle finger is a point that calms the heart. Okay. And again, this is what part of what I teach in Soulful Mindfulness. I do teach some points. It's primarily meditation, but I teach some points to help bring us to the level where we can meditate. I literally sat and did this, and it was a public place, but you can hold your finger. Nobody noticed, right? I had my hand down. You guys, within like 3-4 minutes, I was calm again, because it wasn't the type of thing where I could really close my eyes and meditating. Let's just say I was in transit. I was in transit. I could not close my eyes and really drop into meditation. Okay. Give me a yes if this has happened to you. So I just did a point. I did an acupressure point that I know. And like I said, that I teach in the program. And within 4 minutes, I was calm. And I was like, oh my God, because there was some crazy stuff happening on my means of transportation. That's all I'm going to say. There was really some things that would stress most people out. And whether you're listening to me and you ride the New York City subway, or in Philly, or wherever, right? You ride public transit, you know how sometimes there's some stress on there. So I was stressed, even though I have meditated 10 hours a day. And I'll go more back into that again for those of you who are new. So I just did the acupressure point. I did it on both hands. And I was so calm. I was like, oh my God, thank God, because, and there are different ways, of course, prayer works. There are many different ways. Just simply the points work. You don't need to believe in anything. The points work. So I just want to give you the tools, right? And so the Soulful Meditation provides that. So let's see. And if you have any specific questions about meditation or about my program, what I teach, please put it in the chat. Another big question. So yes, it helps anxiety, stress, no doubt, no doubt. And I've had in my last session, I want to say I had 6 people. I'm really proud to tell you that I had, and I need to get their testimonials. Folks say things, during the session, but then I want to get like, okay, write this down, tell me what happened. And I'm lax in that, honestly, I really am. But in the last session of Soulful Mindfulness that I taught, we had a mother and 2 daughters. The mother had taken with me before and had such a wonderful experience. She talked her daughters into it. One daughter is in the medical profession. Okay. And how, working in our hospitals, how stressful that is. Okay. And the other one had just gotten employed again after a period of unemployment. Okay. Again, I'm not giving any names, but so we had the mother and we had the two daughters because she got such benefit out of it from the previous time that the next time I ran it, she brought her daughters in and she took it again. I had in that last session a professor, relatively young professor who was under tremendous stress, had gotten a PhD and was in academia and just under a lot of stress, has to do research and teaching. And she got tremendous benefit out of it. I want to say there were two other people. I don't remember their professions, but people from all walks of life. Okay. Does it help with sleep? Absolutely. When we can't sleep, it's because there's hidden stress. There's stress or tension in your body that you are not aware of. When you go lay down, when everything is quiet, suddenly your mind is active. Your mind is active because you have worries, you have fears, you have anxieties, right? That's one. And then there's the physical tension in your body. Give me a yes if you have had this, okay? We've all had insomnia. Again, even when I get stressed, even though I meditate, if I get stressed, I can usually stop the insomnia within like 1 or 2 days. But it's always balance. We always have to be coming back to balance, goddesses. We have to come back. It's not something that you just do it once and it's guaranteed. Okay. So meditation isn't a magic bullet in that you just do it once, but the same way you take sleep medication, many of you, okay. And sleep medication, I'm going to go there. It does not give you deep sleep. And there's evidence that it messes up your the type of sleep and the depth and the rhythm of sleep. They're deep sleep, and then you're supposed to have some dreams, and then you go into the REM. Sleep meditation does not give you that, okay? So all that I share with you on this channel, all of it is about our bodies. And this is probably, I should really state, this is like my mission. Our bodies have a wisdom and an intelligence. And what you want to do, no matter what your illness, again, not, telling you anything not to go to your doctor. Absolutely. I always get a Western medicine diagnosis. But in addition, I'm talking about dealing with your stress that is often the underlying condition. Even if something is heredity, everybody's like, oh, I inherited that. Everybody in my family has that. That is BS. We want to blame heredity. Let me explain to you. It's not that a family can have, it's like, oh, well, we have this gene. There is evidence now, and spiritually, this has always been known, what turns something on. You study twins, right? You study different people. Something turns on the gene, something turns on the expression of that problem, okay? You can't just say, for instance, I have a friend who, oh, well, yeah, my mom had that, or, I have this health issue, okay? For instance, they are obese. Okay, the obesity comes from overeating because I know this person. I know what they eat, okay? I am judging because I think it's time we start to take care of ourselves and realize we're important. So this person has self-esteem issues, okay? Because they have self-esteem issues, they use the food to cover up some of the pain. Then they have a health issue, multiple health issue because of being obese. So then their focus is, oh my gosh, my health, I have all this health problems. That's not the real problem. The real problem is about 3 steps back. Okay. Now I don't want to get all David Goggins on you. You guys, now I'm so high on David Goggins right now. Look him up. I'm going to put his name in the chat. He comes off as crazy, but I don't actually think he's crazy. I just listened to a 2-hour interview with him. He's not crazy. And his thing, he's very like tough love. And so I'm just putting that, like I said, not to those who are beginners to the idea of self-growth, self-help, but more those who are already into it. Then this video is for you. So absolutely can help with your sleep. Anger, yes. We have a type of meditation called loving kindness meditation, amongst others, that can help. But in my program, in the first round, I do not teach that. In the very first step, I teach 4 different types of mindfulness, okay? And they will help you with your anger, because how does meditation help with your anger? Okay. When you start becoming angry, something triggers you. When you meditate, right, you will over time. So you're meditating and you'll start to see the beginning of the anger. You may trace it back to, oh, yeah, I remember when my sister said this to me. Okay, I'm using even examples from my own life. I remember when she said this and this and this, and you start getting angry. But because you're a meditator now, you start seeing the seed, what we call the seed of the anger, where before you don't really see why you're angry necessarily. Now, the way your parents treated you, or your older sister who abused you, right? Now, years later, you're having troubles and you haven't made that connection between this early childhood and teens and the current life. When you practice meditation, you become able suddenly, without needing a therapist to tell you, you see, oh my God, this is the seed of why I do this now. Okay. Tell me what you think about that. Tell me what you think about that. I'm going to pause there. I want to get your comments, your feedback. All right. And give it a minute because, yeah, thank you for your comments, Dovefly. Yeah, it takes a minute for it to come over to where I am. I'm in StreamYard. I'm in StreamYard up here. It's a certain software that I use for YouTube. And I like it because I can put your comments up. So hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I love that I can put comments up. So let me know what you think about that, where I'm saying you see the root. You see the root of a problem in the past and you see it in your daily life. So that's the first question. I've answered that. Does having a busy mind make you a bad meditator? Okay, that's the other thing. A lot of people, I feel like you may be one of them. You scare yourself about meditating because you're like, yeah, my mind is too busy. I can't still my mind. It's the same question. Does that make me a bad meditator? Number one, there are several things. It isn't about being a good or bad meditator, right? This isn't like judgment. In fact, you're meditating to get over your self-judgment. Okay, that's pretty deep. You're meditating to get over the self-judgment. So many people, like almost everyone, they're like, yeah, I tried meditation. I can't do it. I'm not good. And I'm like, well, what happened? Oh, yeah, my mind wouldn't get still. My mind wouldn't stop. It's like, okay. All right. So there's a fallacy there. There's an error. One, you're going in like, I'm only good if I stop my mind. That is false. First of all, it's just false. Okay. So you're going in with a preconception. That's like saying, oh, I'm going to learn ice skating, but I should never fall down. Okay. You're going to take ice skating or anything, rollerblading, roller skating, which is coming back apparently in my day, right? And you're like, oh, I should never fall down. It's the same thing when you say something like, well, I meditate, but my mind is just still busy. Okay. Or that's like, yeah, I can't dust my house because my house is dusty. That's a really good analogy. Like, I can't clean my house because my house has dust. And it's like, okay, no, your house has dust, like that's normal. And so you're going to dust your house. And you find dust, and that's okay because there is dust. You see what I'm saying? That was like a Zen. That was very Zen. All right, let me know that you're with me. Some of you in the chat might be like, okay, I just showed up. I don't even know what she's talking about. But if you're watching in the replay and you saw the title and you're interested and you understand, you're following what I'm saying and you have questions, ask it, please. All right, let me see if there are any comments coming in. Remember, from YouTube, if you're on YouTube directly, it takes like 2 minutes for your comments to come through. So does that make sense? When you judge yourself as a bad meditator and you stop meditating, that is like saying my house is dusty, so I'm not going to dust my house. Okay. Our mind is always busy. Our mind is like this. You don't think your mind is doing this, but it is. Okay. When you meditate, what happens is you see how busy your mind is. I'm going to give you another analogy with the cleaning. You know how when you clean, like you'll clean your stove, right? You were just going to clean your stove or do the dishes. Maybe the dishes aren't good because that's you kind of frequent. You clean your stove or you dust an area. What happens next after you dust an area? What happens next? You then are like, oh, you see more dust. You're like, oh man. Or you see dirty laundry and you're like, oh. Once you clean something, the next thing that's dirty, you notice, right? Always, always, right? Give me a yes if you've noticed that. Give me a yes in the chat. When you clean something, the thing next to it, you notice a little dust or you notice like a little stain, right? Or, oh gosh, I got to do my carpet, or, oh, I didn't see that spot. Meditation is the same way. The more you work with your mind and your mind gets calmer, or you look at your mind, you suddenly are like, oh my God, I'm having all these crazy thoughts I didn't realize. Okay, so that's very common. So the fact that your mind is busy does not make you a bad meditator. It makes you someone who you want to practice more. Okay, because the one thing we are not taught in school, they do not teach us in school how to work with our minds. Think about that. Think about that. Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Dove Fly. That, give me a yes if you've noticed that. When you clean, then you're like, damn it. And then for some of us, you have to clean the whole space because you're like, it looks so nice there. Then you're like, oh yeah, there's more dust. I need to do that. Let me sweep. Let me mop. You know what? I got to throw some stuff out. Like, you look at your closet, you're like, oh my God, I need to throw some of this out. I need to organize. So that's, meditation is like that. When you start to see more, you'll see more. Okay. You'll see more. Hey, Lydia, you'll see more. Once you see one thing, you'll see the rest. And then you're like, and pretty soon you're cleaning your whole house. Okay. You're cleaning multiple rooms. This happens especially with the bathroom. You clean, you do the sink. Then you're like, oh, I got to wash down the toilet bowl and the top and the back and, oh, on the sides. Oh, and pretty soon then you're mopping the floor. And you just really didn't intend to do all of that, okay? You really did not intend to do, but you cleaned one thing and that was your fault. You shouldn't have cleaned anything, okay? So meditation is like that. I'm serious. Meditation is like that. So again, I'm talking about in general questions people ask because I want to give you value, but I also very much want to share with you my program that it's getting ready to close. I'm going to close it tomorrow and we start Sunday, and it's 8 weeks long. It's a good time for me to tell you what you would be getting into. It's 8 weeks. Now, the homework is basically what we do in class, whatever I teach you in class, to practice it. I generally be happy with 2 times during the week. So that means you would have meditated 3 times in the week if you're in the program, okay? And that's great. 3 times a week is perfect. It's what I recommend. So my program is 8 weeks. We meet on Sunday in the late afternoon if you're on the East Coast. It does turn out to be kind of middle of the day Sunday if you're in California. Okay. It's open to women and men this time. It's open to all individuals, non-binary, all humans for the first time. Okay. And so yeah, if you have questions about it, about soulful mindfulness, I teach you 4 mindfulness practices. I'm actually reading from my website now. I help you choose what is the perfect method for your needs, because with each thing that I teach you in the group, I also talk about what it's good for. Like, this one is good when you're really tired. This one is good when you're really like agitated. This one is good more like every day. I teach a movement meditation, okay? That is good when you're restless, okay? Because I know some of you are like, I can't meditate, I'm too anxious. You learn a movement meditation that everybody loved. In fact, the woman who I said brought her daughters to take meditation with me and took the class again, her favorite is the movement meditation, okay? We talk about what's the best time for you to do meditation, and it's not a fixed time, but we discuss that and you can ask your questions. There are different times that are good, okay? But again, that depends on you, and that's why you want to have a teacher, and I'll be your teacher. Okay, you already know me from YouTube, so I'm sure you've watched a lot of my videos and you've had a good sense of me. I talk about how to deal with common problems that arise, just like I'm doing here, but obviously in more depth. And we're on Zoom, so I can see you and you can see the other people, right? It's not just this one-way kind of communication. So any problems that arise for you with meditating, you have me there to ask a question. And I have a community that I've just started, you guys, just for folks who are enrolled in the program, where you can ask questions at any time of me, and you can share what's going on and other folks can respond. Okay. So let me see. So yeah, let me go back and just see if there are any questions. And as I go through, let's see, I answered that one. The busy mind. Is meditation only for a particular type of person? I think that some people have a stereotype. And again, I'm not here to convince you if you're not at all interested in spiritual growth and you're not open-minded to try meditation. It isn't for a particular type of person. You may have, like, I feel that you may in your mind feel like, oh, only certain types of people meditate. That's not really true. That's a stereotype. That is really a stereotype. And I think, as I said, my channel, I really aim my channel for women, but I want my channel to be open for all women. And I just keep this phrase, Spirit is kind of telling me to play with the idea of black, brown, and pink, right? The spectrum of women, are in my program, primarily women of color, for sure. But all are welcome. Allies are welcome. And anyone who wants to be in a diverse community. Okay. So yeah, you do see more. I see tough ones. Yes, you see more. Exactly. Well, the same thing happens with your mind when you meditate. So, so the program is open to all, especially this round. I'm opening it to men, women, non-binary folks. Before it was only open to women. Okay, so we're going to try it, and we'll see how guys behave in the group. And anybody who likes me, if you're nervous about being in the program, Soulful Mindfulness, just remember they're all people who have resonated and who like me. And that's what unites all the people who come to the program. So you don't have to be a particular type of person. You don't have to be a hippie or like any particular thing, right? In fact, I mean, their meditation is being taught all the way from like prisons to like billionaires, some of whom, yes, could be and maybe have been in prison. I'm just saying, not anti-billionaire, but just saying. There are billionaires talking about it, right? Who, like business guys who are just about the money, are suddenly meditating. This is new, okay? This is new. This is like something is happening in the ether. That's how much the benefits of meditation are coming to the fore, that typically men, it's mostly men, like I'm saying, these like mega billionaires are like, I think I'm going to try this. It's going to make me better. Maybe I'll earn more money. It actually helps anyone. I'm telling you the truth. Anyone who does meditation, it helps them. So whether the person's like just focused on money, honestly, God truth, it will help them. And if you're more altruistic and compassionate, like it's going to help you. Okay. Just so, does that clear up any sort of preconceptions? Again, replay folks who are not here live with me right now, write your questions, write your comments. I really want to see them. So all different people benefit from meditation. As I said, they've over and over, I've taught kids who were having trouble in community college because they were drinking. They were caught like drinking and they broke the rules, whatever. Saw a benefit. Okay. I've never taught in prisons, but there's so many studies about meditation in prisons, the profound effect, men's prisons, women's prisons, the effect it has. Okay. Now, most of you watching are, I'm just saying it's for all different types of people. Okay. Let's go on. And let me just see, do you have any questions about mindfulness and my program, specifically Soulful Mindfulness? If you do, the link is in there. And again, it is closing tomorrow. I was going to close it like at midnight, and then that means I have to stay up and take the button down. And I'm like, Viv, because everybody's like, it's closing at midnight tonight, right? That means, yeah, I don't want to stay up. So I'm closing it tomorrow, Thursday, the 22nd, like in the middle of the day. I'm going to say noon, but the link will be below. So check it out. Let's see. Yeah. Do you have any other questions? Again, I'm just going over the most popular questions that folks ask about meditation or why they hesitate. Can I practice meditation without spirituality or religion. Okay. So again, in some communities, especially, we know, if you really feel this conflicts with your religion, like I said, don't, that's okay. I'm not going to force you, but of course you can practice meditation. Mindfulness specifically, this program is a-religious. Okay. Nothing we're going to do is changing anybody's religion. Hi, beautiful love. Um, so I'm answering the most common questions I got from Google and from my experience, but these were the main Google ones people ask. So beautiful love, you may want to go back to see from the beginning. So yeah, we just meditation. You don't have to be a particular type of person. And yes, you don't have to be a particular religion. This is what I say. I always say something like, think about when you go to a restaurant. We all, we'll go eat Chinese food, right? Or we'll have pasta. We'll go to an Italian restaurant. Does that mean you come out and you've suddenly now become Italian? You went and you have Chinese food. Did you become Chinese? No. Okay. In the same way, mindfulness meditation, specifically, the reason you're hearing so much about it, the type that I'm teaching in this program, is that it's a-religious. You're watching the breath, you're watching your thoughts, you're watching your body, what your body is doing, those are basically like the different objects you focus on: your thoughts, your emotions, sensations, all of that. Okay. So it doesn't matter whatever your ethnicity, whatever your background, if you're an atheist, if you're agnostic, if you are spiritual, it doesn't matter. The mindfulness meditation is, I truly believe, the basis of all other types of meditation, like chakra meditation that I teach, and like the energy healing. Okay. Yes. Hey, beautiful love. Hey again. And Lydia's here. Dove is here. Kay Sharp is here. And others who have not said hello in the chat. So that's my answer to the question. Can I practice meditation without spirituality or religion? You absolutely can. And it does not have to conflict unless you believe that it's going to conflict. And like I said, if you do, then that's fine. Because if you have so much worry about your religion being diluted in some way, or if you really have some more extreme beliefs about meditation, then, don't practice it. Again, I don't think most of my audience is in that group, but in general, the question about does it have to have spirituality or religion? It does not. Okay. So I put the link for the Soulful Mindfulness. It's on my website, intheflowofmagic.com, and it does say mindfulness program for women because I'd have to change the page, which is kind of complicated. So it's open, guys. It's open to men who are interested in learning how to. So what do you get from studying meditation? You're getting what I mentioned before: ability to cope better with stress, ability to sleep better, ability to curb your anger, and to understand why you're angry. So like I said, I have 28,000 subscribers. There literally should be 500 of you at least in here, at least. Okay. And I mean that, not of any channel, This is literally, I would say, almost the most important thing you can do in your life is learn how to meditate. Okay. Literally the most important thing you can do in your life, other than take care of your health, specifically like your diet and your exercise. I believe this is the other major, major game changer. Okay. If that makes sense. It is the key. So let me see. I think those were the main questions. Does meditation work to help with, and then certain things? Does your busy mind mean that you're a bad meditator? Is meditation only for a particular type of person? And can I practice mindfulness meditation without spirituality or religion coming in? Let me see. So any questions? Beautiful love, do you have a question? Lydia, do you have a question? Many of you, and I am going to go there, I mentioned David Goggins, you practice with my video and that's fine, or you practice with, there's a proliferation of meditation videos, but you actually don't know how to meditate, meaning somebody has to guide you each time. What I'm saying to you from my heart is what you want is to be able, it's almost like you didn't know how to ride a bike by yourself and it always had the training wheels, or somebody had to, like, remember when you were a kid, this didn't happen for me, but like somebody's holding the, the bicycle so you can steady yourself. When you always have to use guided meditations, that means you're not able to just sit and meditate on your own. Or like a dear friend of mine, um, again, I'm going to go there. She might see this, but she's been meditating on her own for like a year or more. I ask her what she's doing and she tells me. And then I asked her about a particular experience in her meditation. I said to her, have you noticed that now that you're meditating, um, your day feels like it goes slower, like time goes slower, so that you feel less rushed. You feel like you have more time for anything you're doing. She said, no, I don't feel that. I have not felt that. And at that point, she'd been meditating for like 6 months. And she says, no, I've never felt that. And I said, okay, that means there's something, you're not doing something right. Okay. Again, I'm just telling you the truth. If you are meditating and you don't feel that benefit, that you're not, something isn't quite right in the meditation. This same person continues to meditate on her own, which is great. She sits, she says she watches her breath for like 20 minutes, but she's not seeing the benefits. Well, she's not seeing the benefits because, again, it's like teaching yourself something and you don't know what you're doing wrong. Okay. So that's one of the benefits of meditation. And I have a video on that where I talk about the benefits of meditation. One of the main benefits is that you're like a simple task. Say there's a task you do every day and you might feel stressed or rushed, outside people giving you pressure or whatever. When you start meditating regularly, you'll find that the time you have for whatever it is feels more open. It's as if, I always say, it's like the Matrix, like they grabbed the time and they stretched it. And you know how in Matrix, like things moved in slow motion? I think because it's been a while, but that sense of things moving in slow motion, that's what happens when you're meditating properly. Okay. And so my friend, some people are just stubborn, doesn't often, there are reasons for that. If someone's a friend, they're like, oh, well, I can't learn from you. Like they don't see you as a teacher. So maybe that's it. But she's missing one of the main benefits of meditation is a sense of, even with stress, you feel less rushed. And you're the person in the room who's cooler, calmer, and able to like just deal. And it's an inner experience. Other people will see it and sense it, think they will. Again, that depends on them, but you will know it. And no lie, I've asked that in my class. And I want to say by the 4th week, people are like, oh, yeah, that's what I've noticed. I've noticed such and such, or I was on a call, or this was happening, and it felt like time slowed down. Okay. So this is a benefit of meditation when you're doing it properly. So any questions at this point? And then I'm just gonna, again, enrollment is closing on my program, my Soulful Mindfulness. I call it that because I wanted to infuse the idea of soul, that we're doing this not just for our minds, but for our deeper evolution. And also that it's not just about our thoughts, but our emotions, because I feel like, especially for us women, it's the thoughts, right? It could be the self-defeating thoughts, the self-hating thoughts, the judgment thoughts, you're not good enough. All of that meditation does help with. So the negative thoughts, I guess I should have said that. That is one of the benefits. You'll become more aware of your negative thoughts, goddess. That's the first step. When you meditate with me or in any good program, you'll become aware of the negative thoughts. But then the way I teach the meditation is how to cope with it and how not to let it overwhelm you. Okay. How not to let those negative thoughts, which live in our head, everybody has them, right? How not to let them overwhelm you when you start seeing them. Because right now, most of you, if you don't meditate very much, you don't really, the thoughts are like behind you and you don't see them, but they're influencing your behavior. This is really deep. They're subconscious. They're like behind you, okay? You're not aware. You're looking forward, but they're behind you, these thoughts and feelings that are kind of negative. When you meditate, all of a sudden, it's like you see what was in there. Okay. You see what was in there. And so I teach you, there is one specific method, especially, but also as you get calmer, you may really see that you really dislike yourself, for example. And then you say, oh gosh, I shouldn't have started meditating because I had this realization, it made me sad. Okay. Instead of just carrying around this this self-hatred within yourself, now you're seeing it and you can clear it. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I'm looking at just checking the time and looking at the numbers of live viewers. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to put up Lydia's question here. What if you can't? That's a great, oh, you have YTT. Yes. Yeah. I would say that's a great question, Lydia. You can miss, I would say, up to 2 of the sessions and still really get great benefit from it because it's 8 weeks. But yes, now that you say that, I do remember that you're in YTT because I have so many different people comment, here and on Instagram or by email. But yes, that's wonderful that you're in YTT. It's every second weekend. Yeah, so let me put the dates. But if it's every second weekend, yeah, that would mean, would you miss 4? My thing starts at 4:30. It starts at 4:30. So here, hold on. Let me just put it in the chat. But thank you for asking because that might be a question others have. These are the dates that I'm calling it winter 2024, right? It's early, let's say early spring. Let's be optimistic. So the dates for soulful mindfulness are the 25th, March 3rd, the 10th, the 17th, the 24th, Easter break, and then April 7th, 14th, and 21st. So that should be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. Yeah. It's a wonderful compliment, Lydia, to your YTT. It would be excellent. In fact, I mean, I may make a course where it's like a certification or something, but that's like another level. But for you as a teacher and any yoga teachers watching this would be an excellent support for your YTT, for your yoga teacher training. That's what that YTT means. If you don't know what that means, which I probably wouldn't have known if I wasn't, But yeah, I feel like it's okay to miss like 2. If you miss more than even 3, right? Because then you have 5 live. I wouldn't miss more than that because so much of it is the group support. So yes, yeah. Any other questions? Dove, do you have a question? K Sharp, I don't know if you're still here. K Sharp, you were here at the beginning. And again, all of you beautiful souls that are going to watch this after, because it's kind of dinner time. I usually eat dinner at 7, folks, because I start later in the day, but starting to eat at like 6 now. But yeah, I know I went live at dinner time. I apologize. I'm not trying to take you away from your food. Let's see. It's from 8:30 to 4:30. Yeah, mine starts at 4:30. What's funny is I'm actually thinking to ask if people would be okay to move it to 5. But yeah, it's from 8:30. Yeah, it's from 8:30 to 4:30. That is really long. That is really long. Oh, the flight. Yeah. He said no. Okay. Oh, I'm not sure quite where you're answering no to. Were you saying no, you don't meditate? Yeah, Lydia, I know that would be long. That would be long for you because that would be 8:30 to the class is from 4:30 to 5:45. So that would be very long. I mean, you could definitely get a bathroom break, and we do a 5-minute break during the class. Beautiful love, how are you doing with the previous program? I'd love to catch up with you because I'm not sure how all of that went for you. I know you had a lot going on in your life. So any other questions about mindfulness meditation? I know there are many questions. I mean, there are things like how often to meditate. I can answer some of those. I recommend just 20 minutes a day or 20 minutes 3 times a week as the minimum. That's a really common question. 20 minutes 3 times a week. Yeah. Yeah, 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes 3 times a week. Dovefly, do you meditate? The Dovefly KM. Welcome to the community. I do impromptu live, so they're not always scheduled. So yes, if you have a question after watching this video, here, I'm going to about the program assistant at In the Flow of Magic, which is my website, In the Flow of Magic. And I say that, I named it that because I love the sound, but I truly believe we can live our lives in the flow of magic. Now, this was before like all the craziness that is going on in the world. And that is probably the final reason I will give that you need to meditate. You know, we have war. And of course, now humanity's always had war, always had war. But the fact that now we know about it, you know about flooding in the Philippines or in Bangladesh, you know about an earthquake in Japan. Our ancestors, think about it, our ancestors just had their local area and the tribes and the people who might attack. Yes, a war might come, but it was very focused. A natural disaster might come, but again, just in their area. They didn't also have to carry all the stress and the fear of knowing, oh, people are dying over here, and this is like literally around the world. So that's a level of stress. That's a level of stress that is very hard for us to bear. And I do believe that that's also why we all need to be meditating right now, because we all need to make our minds more peaceful. Okay. And I truly believe, and there's easy for many people to poo-poo this, right? If as human beings, we were peaceful inwardly, we would not be having the wars that we're having. We would not be battling for resources where we want our group to be the only group. If we lived up to our highest potential, our highest human potential, which has our divine potential, we could easily sit down. That's if everybody evolved to this level, sit down, delegate, and share, right? And we could also solve problems. We have the might and the ability to solve problems, but because actually what the Buddha said, which vibes very much with other spiritual teachers, but in Buddhism, they talk very much about greed, hatred, and delusion are these three like poisons. Greed, you can see in our world everywhere, right? There's also its opposite. But greed, hatred of people based on everything, their beliefs, their ethnicity, their race, their gender, their ability, their act capacities, all of that, right? So we are meant to evolve. I know if you're watching my channel, you know that. And meditation is a way for us to evolve. I think it is the primary way. Because again, meditation shows you what's going on inside, so that instead of projecting it just to the outside world, for instance, I'll give you maybe an extreme example. I won't give the very extreme example. Many people say who commit crimes, specific types of crimes, it's coming from their own self-hatred. They've been traumatized, right? And then they create trauma for others. They just recreate what they've experienced. Actually, pedophilia is one good example of that, right? Often pedophiles were sexually abused themselves or abused in some way themselves, like they were warped in some way, and they continue that. And so meditation is an antidote and an antidote to a lot of our inner problems. Okay, so if this resonated with you and there are no more questions, go check out the program. I would love to see you inside of it. Again, it's just on Zoom. It's not public out. It's for those who enroll. And let me tell you the pricing as of now. Actually, I'll put that below. But now is the lowest pricing that it's going to be going forward. I do have a 2-payment plan that you can check out. But again, I'm closing this round of it. I'm closing it tomorrow. So from when this was filmed, it will come around again though. So I want this to be an evergreen video, especially because I answered some questions about meditation, right? And explained. So it will come around again, but if you want to get in for this session at the lowest price it's going to be, right, going forward, is, take the 2-payment plan, and the dates are on the page and in the chat. Let me just see. And it is open to men and women. It's open to men and women, non-binary folks as well. Okay. All are really welcome. We're going to create a safe space where we can be together and work with our minds. And so soulful is that we're not just the mind, the emotions, the body, our whole being. And it is something I truly believe that when you learn it with me, you can take it your whole life. You will be able to use these tools for your whole life going forward. Also, if you have taken the program before, I set it so that you can take it at a really low rate again, like a really, really low rate, like a donation rate, if you've gone through the whole course before and you just want to repeat it and like audit and go in depth. Okay. So I should actually put that on the page because I think I haven't. But Lydia, I'm so happy that you're in YTT. I loved my yoga teacher training, and it is very in depth. Consider, when you are finished, this would be a great, any of you who are yoga teachers or healers, massage therapists, as you guys know, that was my background. Any of you who doing healing work, you want to know how to meditate and have the background and the underpinnings to it that I provide in Soulful Mindfulness. So on that note, I am going to sign off. And it was a pleasure to be here. And again, it's better to, if it's between not meditating and meditating with a video guided, definitely do it with a guided. I'm just saying that, oh, you are welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Lydia, what's your favorite video on my channel? And the dove fly, I want to ask the same thing. The dove, do you have a favorite video? You don't have to have the exact title, but what is it about? Because that will be really helpful to me to know. And again, and those of you in the replay as well, what is your favorite video? Again, don't have to have the exact title, but you can say, oh, it was the affirmations one that was for like health. I actually think I need to make one like that, but let me know what the yoga videos. Okay. Yeah. I know if I made more of those, my channel would be huge. It's just like I always say, filming them is a real pain, getting the lighting right. I don't have the right camera, like I don't have the right setup to make it easy. And so part of me ends up being cut off. And so I'm always like hesitant, but I'm so glad you like them. Lydia says, yes, the affirmations. Yes. Good. My dear friend, yeah, he said to me, your voice, I think your career is in your voice. And he's like, yeah, those affirmations, those guided meditations, he really liked. But yeah, the yoga videos. There's one, Lydia, for the third chakra. I'm looking at your comment, so I'm looking down there. That one is really, really good. It's I'm wearing like a leopard print on my head. It's for the third chakra, and it's short, and it's like boom. It's like, I think it's like really 20-25 minutes, but you really feel good and energized. So try that one, that third chakra one, if you haven't yet. I think I'm wearing yellow, and I've got like this bandana, like I said, with like tiger stripes or something, or leopard. I think it's a leopard print. So yes, yeah, that third chakra one, it's really good. When I do my own videos, that's the one I always do because I'm like, that really nailed that one. The combination that I do, I have camel, Okay, now I'm getting into yoga talk and I'll lose other people. So yeah, Lydia, try that one. That would be so awesome. And I am taking also, I had a wonderful girl from the Philippines who was working with me as an assistant for a while. And I had her go and find some of the great comments from my YouTube channel. And Lydia's, I like yours so much. I'm gonna like little screenshot it. Yeah. A lot of my like testimonials are on my YouTube channel. You know? Oh, nature wind? Nature wind? I have a nature wind one? Is it recent? Yeah, I that could be, I don't know. I don't know which one that is, Dove. I have a couple that are with nature. There's one also that I really like that I did where I filmed it sitting out in nature. You can hear the trees. It's not fake, you know, it's like you can hear the wind and everything. That might be the one you're talking about. That one has a lot of views, I want to say into the thousands. So I'm glad you like that one. It's probably that one you're thinking of. I'm trying to think if I had any others where that would be like nature wind. I think that's the one. I think I'm thinking of the right one. All right. So love you guys very, very much. And again, if you have any questions, hit me up at assistant at In the Flow of Magic. The course is closing tomorrow at noon, the soulful mindfulness in this round as I'm filming this. So look at the date of the video. If you're watching from the future, it will come back again, of course. So yeah, it will come back again. I love teaching this program, but also now I'm teaching I call this the yang really quick. This is like stability, strength of the mind. And then I'm teaching Awaken the Divine Feminine, which is a little bit more woo-woo. And I feel like they're a good complement. So I will also definitely teach that again, Awaken the Divine Feminine. That went really well and had a lot of enrollment in that. So watch out for either of those two going forward. Yeah, look, I will look into your video. Okay. So thank you so much for being here, being present. Let's just take a breath in together. Deep breath in, let it pull you up taller. Fill your lungs, breathe out, but keep the tall posture. So no slouching. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, pull your shoulders down, bring them up and then down. Bring palms together, touch the thumbs to the sternum, tuning into your heartbeat. Tune into your spine, base of your spine, travel up your spine, up to the crown of the head. Thank you so much. Stay blissed and blessed. Bye-bye.